Well, despite cases rising nationwide, the state of Rhode Island continues to see positive trends in its fight against COVID-19. Good evening, I'm Shannon Heggie. Here is where things stand right now. The Department of Health says 2 more people have sadly died from the virus, bringing the state's death toll to 976. There are currently 61 people in the hospital. This includes 3 new admissions. 4 people are in the ICU and 5 are on a ventilator. According to the Department of Health, there are 45 new positive cases of COVID-19. Governor Raimondo also announced a new version of the Crush COVID RI app is being released today. That will include new features to help with contact tracing and testing. Eyewitness News politics editor Ted Nesi joins us live now with what the governor is saying about overcrowding at beaches and what hospitalizations could look like if people don't follow the rules. Ted?
Well, Shannon, Rhode Island has now been under 100 new coronavirus cases a day for an entire month, and the governor says she's anxious to avoid a setback.
Rhode Island is in a good place.
As coronavirus cases soar to new highs in other parts of the country, Governor Gina Raimondo touts continued stability in Rhode Island.
Look at the facts. It is working. It is the reason we're able to go back to school, back to camp, open daycare, back to the beach, back to work. And I'm just asking you to stick with us.
But it's clear the tide can turn quickly. At today's briefing, the governor showed this chart on COVID-19 hospitalizations in Rhode Island. The blue line is the current trend. The yellow line shows what her advisors think could happen if people stop taking precautions.
What's the first lever or first or second lever you pull back on if you start to see concerning trends?
Yeah. If we can't get a handle on congregating in bars in a particular geography, then I'd have to close bars in that geography. If we can't get a handle on beaches, then we'd have to shut the beaches. If we have, I'm talking in hypotheticals here, by the way.
But beaches are already posing a problem this week.
And in particular, I want to call out Mesquamaket Beach. We just saw too much crowding.
Health Director Dr. Nicole Alexander-Scott also explaining why Rhode Island has fallen in national rankings for testing, saying the state is getting dinged for retesting at-risk populations like nursing home residents.
If we were to test in an arbitrary way, our number of individual people tested would probably be very high. But that would be of much less value to us in our work to prevent the spread of disease.
The governor also made a new request today for Rhode Islanders to download the state's Crush COVID app, which a new version released today is supposed to fix some of the bugs that we've heard complaints about. Coming up new at 5:30, the governor's latest thinking on giving grants to small businesses. Live at the State House, Ted Nesi, Eyewitness News.
As Rhode Island continues its fight against the coronavirus, small businesses are asking the governor for help. Good evening, I'm Shannon Heggie. As we first told you at 5 o'clock, some businesses delivered a petition asking for a cut of the federal aid money given to Rhode Island. Eyewitness News politics editor Ted Nesi is live now with how the governor is responding. Ted?
As I said a couple of days ago, next week I plan to talk more about small business relief. That's a plan. I plan to address that next Wednesday. That'll be in a similar vein, which is to say the challenges facing our small businesses are massive, and what we're able to roll out in a week or so is meant to provide immediate relief, but it's not going to solve our entire economic crisis for the long term. That's the hard work that we all have to engage in, including the legislature, including the Congress, in the months to come. But next week I'll be back with some more details around short-term, immediate steps that we're going to start to take to put money in the pockets of small businesses as quickly as we can to help them deal with the same thing, paying the rent, buying the plexiglass, keeping the doors open, because we want to do everything we can to be there for people in the moment as they're struggling. And I know everyone is struggling. I hear it, and I'm doing my best to do everything we can, using all the tools at our disposal, to be there for you so you're not alone, and we give you a hand to get through it. And we are going to continue to do that.
And Rhode Island did receive $1.25 billion in federal coronavirus relief fund cash in the CARES Act, which passed back in March, and that's where the small businesses are looking for a chunk of money. And I did notice an agenda posted just a little while ago today by the Commerce Corporation. It says topics for a Monday evening meeting will include, quote, a small business grant program, and that will take place on Zoom so the public can take part. Live at the State House, Ted Nesi, Eyewitness News.